They passed away while engaged in their passion. Stories of workers over 80 who died on the job. By Noah Scheidlower. Ralph Scott was heading to his office at East Carolina University when he unexpectedly fell. Though shaken, a groundskeeper helped him up. He had scrapes on his knee and elbow but no apparent injury to his head. The following morning, he experienced stiffness and aching, and over the next several days, his headaches intensified. Ralph drove himself to the hospital, but his condition gradually deteriorated. He passed away 2 weeks after the fall. Medical professionals attributed his death to congestive heart failure, blood clots, and multiple hemorrhages and hematomas. He was 80 years old. Before this accident in 2022, Ralph appeared healthy and energetic, as his wife Nancy fondly remembered. Married since 1988, the couple enjoyed leisure activities like wine touring, studying maps, and relaxing. Despite chronic heart issues requiring a pacemaker, Ralph maintained a strict diet and frequently walked 5 miles daily. He was an extraordinary and fascinating individual, Nancy remarked. His only dilemma was having so many interests that he couldn't pursue them all. Ralph's hobbies included photography during walks, playing the double bass, and immersing himself in World War II research. At the time of his passing, he had nearly 52 years of service as a rare books curator at the university. Ralph was truly doing what he loved, Nancy said. Had he remained healthy, I'm certain he'd still be going to his office daily. After a complex legal struggle lasting almost 3 years, Nancy finally received workers' compensation benefits. An OSHA investigation led to an $8,000 fine against ECU. The university did not comment when contacted. While workplace deaths overall have declined in recent years, fatalities involving older workers have risen, according to safety researchers. This trend ties to Americans working later into life and an aging population. Within a decade, those over 65 are projected to outnumber children under 18. Business Insider has spent the past year exploring the lives of Americans over 80 who continue working. Census data estimate around 550,000 such workers exist in the U.S. Nearly 200 individuals shared stories with us about financial challenges, love for their work, and the desire to stay engaged. This article features interviews with family and friends of 8 workers over 80 who died on the job or while trying to support themselves. Deaths among workers over 80 are rare but present. OSHA records show 67 workplace-related deaths in this age group since 2020, compared to 40 in the prior decade. These figures only include fatalities reported within 30 days and exclude incidents occurring during commute or unrelated hazards. Broadening the age scope reveals that in 2003, 9.4% of workplace fatalities involved those aged 65 or older, increasing to 14.3% 2 decades later, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data. The CDC points out that older workers tend to have fewer injuries but suffer more severe outcomes when incidents occur. Many families emphasize that age alone was not the leading cause of deaths, but injuries like falls are riskier for older employees, especially those in physically demanding roles. Jeffrey Hoffman, a nursing professor at the University of Michigan, warns that focusing solely on falls could discourage older adults from staying active and pursuing their passions. We want people to remain active and enjoy life as they age, he explains. Overemphasizing fall prevention might limit independence and quality of life. Work-related fatalities among America's eldest workers are increasing. Sean Galloway, CEO of a safety consultancy, stresses the inadequate attention paid to fatal injuries among older employees. He highlights vulnerabilities from repetitive tasks and the success trap, where decades of injury-free work breeds complacency. Despite a decade of calls for serious injury prevention, job fatality rates in the U.S. haven't improved and sometimes worsened, Galloway says. He advocates retraining leadership on safety practices to better protect workers. Common industries affected include construction, maintenance, and healthcare, with reported fatalities often leading to modest employer fines. Falls from ladders, stairs, or icy surfaces are frequent causes. Other deaths involved vehicle accidents with trucks or forklifts, sometimes worsened by pre-existing health conditions. Some incidents were particularly tragic, One elderly man died under a collapsing trench wall, a woman was crushed by a dolly, another worker suffered fatal blunt trauma trapped between equipment, others were caught under heavy machinery or attacked while on duty. In early 2024, Richard "Dickie" Gadbois, age 80, drowned in Minnesota after his ATV broke through ice as he was surveying lake safety. Gadbois had owned a fishing business and multiple enterprises over 40 years and led ice fishing excursions. His non-profit advocate friend remembers him as selfless and jovial, a beloved mentor figure remembered for his kindness. Then there's Jack Howald, an 85-year-old bus driver in New Jersey, fatally struck by a colleague's backing bus in 2025. Loved by his community and students, Howald worked because it gave him purpose, not necessity. His family recalls a cheerful personality and a woman who rejected legal claims on his behalf. Experts like Natalie Schwatka advocate a holistic approach to workplace safety, factoring in mental health, chronic health risks, and tailored prevention measures beyond typical blame-focused methods. Practical solutions include traffic guards on sites and ergonomic redesigns. Innovations like the slip simulator let workers safely practice falls to improve reaction skills. Experts emphasize the need for training, accessibility, and flexible work conditions that align with individual health profiles. Data from the CDC reveals a steep rise in fatal falls among seniors aged 75 and older over 2 decades, partly attributed to improved reporting and longer, active lifespans. Despite public awareness campaigns, the rise in older worker injuries continues, though some companies are integrating therapy programs and health benefits to mitigate risks. 3 years after Ralph's death, Nancy Scott reflects on the prolonged grief and legal battles. She balances memories of Ralph's vivacity and camaraderie with a newfound readiness to embrace retirement and a simpler lifestyle. Friends remember Ralph as lively and approachable, with a penchant for humor and festive spirit. Nancy continues active involvement with her community despite adjustment challenges. This compelling collection of stories highlights the risks and rewards aging workers face, sparking important conversations about safety, independence, and the dignity of continuing to work. What should workplaces do to better protect older employees, while honoring their commitment and passion? Share your thoughts below.